Hey folks, what's going on? So this morning when I get up, I was thinking I might do a video in response to Ben Costello talking about David Sylvian in Japan, who I like quite a bit. But I get the news that Chris Squire has passed away of Yes. Now, it's not that I feel like it's my duty to make these videos. I make these videos because these people and this part of life, music, I recognized a long time ago that music and the world of pop music, or whatever you want to call it, is probably the most important aspect of life for me. You know, it's the thing that keeps my interest the most. Not politics, not war, not history, music and the world of music. And so when people pass away whose music has touched me and made life worth living for me, it's worth talking about. And we had another great one pass. Chris Squire of Yes. It was just announced that he passed away. You know, he had to go on hiatus because of being diagnosed with leukemia. And of course, everyone was hoping that he would pull through. But Jeff Downs, the keyboardist with Yes, tweeted this morning that Chris died. And just got done playing Yes's very first album. Yes were and still are very influential to me. Progressive rock, for some folks it's blues rock, for some folks it's psychedelic rock, for some it's soul, whatever, that really trips their trigger. Progressive rock has been one of the biggest influences in my life. And if you had to talk about a genre that I would use to partially self-identify with, it would be prog more than any of the other genres in many ways. I'm a huge Genesis fan, but I heard Yes first. And I can still remember the very first time I heard Yes because it had that much of an impact. Let me get this right, I'm pretty sure I was a sophomore. I have to look at the date of the album, and that will let me know. Because I was it was a school night. I was in bed. I flipped on the radio because I wasn't sleeping well. 1973 is, recorded in 1971. So I think this was first issued. This is a German pressing, so it's saying 1973. I think this actually was issued in 1971. And when I heard the opening of Roundabout, it woke me up. I mean, it alerted me. I was half awake with the radio on, and when that backwards guitar, and then I said, what is this? I've never heard anything like this before. And I was transfixed, the entire 11 minutes. I had to know who it was, okay? Coming from a family that was financially poor, I couldn't just run out and buy Fragile by Yes. It was so important to me that I was able to cobble the money together. Now, I had been working since a teen, on and off. At 14, I started working. But I'll be honest with you, I gave a fair amount of my money to my mom because we needed it to live on. So when I was able to buy this album, and I did buy it shortly after it came out, I wore it out. I played it for everyone. I was so excited by it that I took it to school with me all the time. I went to a all-boys prep school here in Omaha, Creighton Prep. And I'll take credit for being one of the people that turned Omaha on to Yes, because I went to prep with all these rich and middle-class kids, and no one from my class knew anything about Yes. Matter of fact, once I started playing it on breaks and in the student council room, I was on the student council, people begged to borrow the album. Now, even then I thought, this is weird. You guys have money. Why do you have to borrow my album? But I did. I relented. I loaned this album out to many people. Some people I didn't even know. And when I finally got my copy back, it was ruined. It was trashed. It skipped. It was ruined. It was disrespected. But I turned a lot of folks on to Yes with that copy, and I don't know what copy this is, second, third, fourth. But Chris Squire's bass playing stood out right away. As soon as the song kicks in as soon as the rhythm section kicks in, everything about it stands out. Bill Bruford's drum tone, the way he's hitting the drums, his accents, Chris Squire's signature Rickenbacker tone, and his finesse, like John Entwistle. All fingers, just could play that sucker. So I just want to pay my respects to these people, Chris Squire being the latest, who have touched my life in such a special way, and in many ways have made life worth living. Music really has had that big of an influence. Race comes up all the time, folks, and I'm going to keep bringing it up because it must be dealt with. People are uncomfortable talking about race, and that's why I keep bringing it up, because we need to get comfortable talking about it. Acting like it's not there is not the solution, okay? And so, even though there's folks like, as a young kid, James Jamerson of Motown and Bootsy Collins, and I'm trying to think of another one. Those bass players were very important and influential to me. Their skills at the time for me as a kid were almost like unapproachable. Chris Squire, even though he was very technical, was more understandable to me. But I put him in the same pantheon of bass players extraordinaire as the James Jamersons, Bootsy Collins, and then even though jazz and rock are perceived as two separate camps, basically they are, but when it comes down to musicians and musicianship, Chris Squire deserves to be in the same camp, in my mind, to my experience. You can disagree, and that's fine. I'm speaking for the land of Dereck, okay? Chris Squire is in the same room of respect when it comes to bass players for me as the Ron Carters, the Dave Hollands, the Roy Eldridges. In rock, he's one of the best, He is, he's up there with, you name them, John Entwistle, you name them, Chris Squire actually comes to mind right away when I think about rock bass players. He's one of the first people that I think of. Has been for a long time. No point in showing you all my Yes albums. I have the main body of work. They're just right here because my Yes Y's are right here. So let's see, I'll grab Time in a Word. Yes album. I just showed you Fragile. Close to the Edge. Mind blowing. This album, again, when it came out, it was mind blowing. It was unbelievable actually that they could make a better album than Fragile. It was mind blowing. It was like, man, this is like apocalyptic. It's so good. Yes, is it Yes Songs? Yeah, the triple live album. Tales of Topographic Oceans. Boring album. Yeah, this is a boring album. Tormato. So it's just okay. Yesterday's, a look back at some stuff. Yesterday's. Drama. As for a Yes album, I like this one. Drama. Relayer, fantastic album. Saw them on this tour. Fantastic. Fantastic. I have more Yes, but I'll just show those. Yeah, I have more. And then the box set. It's out in the other room. I have the box set. But much respect to the memory of Chris Squire and all of the other musicians that I have not mentioned who have passed on this year. I've talked about a few: David Allen, B.B. King, Ornette Coleman. These people were gigantic in my life, gigantic. And one last word about David Allen, because I've been playing David Allen. It's like, in many ways, the music of gong, what it means to me. 1 second, I want to show the album. I was just playing it last night. Did I put it away already? Yeah, I did. Sticking out right here. Well, Angel's Egg is still sticking out. The music's vibration and what it means to me is getting stronger. David, here he is. Yeah, I played this last night. The message of this album It's just getting stronger. David Allen truly, in my mind, belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, like Robert Wyatt and several other musicians that I regard very highly, who will never be recognized in the American pantheon. America is missed the boat as far as I'm concerned. David Allen is one of the greats one of the greatest in the, how do I contextualize this? It's because it's true. When it comes to the history of rock music and pop culture, David Allen is a giant. I mean, in fact, when you go back and look at his history and where he was and what he did, David Allen is as huge as Jimi Hendrix. For me, bigger than Lou Reed, and he's just up there to me, you know. And the music just gets stronger, you know. It's a real living vibration. I love it. Rest in peace, Chris Squire. I'm so glad that I got to see you play. Wish I could have met you. Ben, I loved your David Sylvian talk, and I love David Sylvian. I have a lot of his records, but don't have them all. I may show them soon.